Now, the Black community is a very near and dear special community to me, for it's my community, and it's the very community that shaped me into the woman that I am today. Now, I must admit, with this whole new trend of wokeness and consciousness, Black empowerment has evolved for me a lot as I maneuver through society and an industry which is ultimately against me as a Black woman and provides very little opportunities. See, a little background about me is I grew up raised on the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, best known as the Nation of Islam, which is still carried today through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So the idea of celebrating Blackness, Black excellence, and Black consciousness and a knowledge of self is not foreign to me at all. And I've always embraced my Blackness. In fact, the only thing I struggled with was understanding how my people as a whole were still suffering from lack of self-love and self-acceptance, knowing all the greatness that we had within us. It wasn't until I went out into the world on my own and searched within that I found that I myself, on an individual level, struggled with self-acceptance and self-love, and not just from oppression or media influences, but from having my very own darkness and demons. And that's when the whole concept of light driving out darkness that Dr. King introduced became so much more real to me. Because I agree, it does take light to drive out darkness, but not necessarily shedding the light on the outer opposition that's against you, but shedding the light on the inner opposition that's against you. And the biggest inner opposition that we'll ever face is our fear. Not fear as in a sense, fear of white supremacy or discrimination, or even having our lives targeted. The fear that Marianne Williamson so courageously exposed, our deepest fear, that we are powerful beyond measure. I know that this fear is true and real because to this very moment right now, my light is what frightens me much more than my darkness. But I've made the conscious decision to face that fear because it is the only way out of the darkness. So I would love to introduce to my people the idea of Black Enlightenment versus Black power, so that we're not just necessarily resisting or opposing white supremacy and anti-Blackness, but rather facing the darkness and the fear that's within, and actually entertaining the idea or concept that what if we are that last that's supposed to be the first? Or what if we are the tail that's going to be the head of a new civilization? And that the revolution might start in the Black community where it's most needed, but it might spread out into the whole world. Because I have this funny feeling that once the Black community faces our deepest fear, that the whole world is going to be inspired and face their deepest fear as well. But until that fateful day comes, I'm going to continue to face my deepest fear moment by moment in hopes that I inspire someone else out there to face their deepest fear, and it will benefit the entire society. Remember, you can always connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Actress Amira. And you can also leave a comment down below. I always love to hear back from you guys. And remember, please subscribe.